Hi, my name's Justine and I'm a lawyer at the Pine Ridge Community Legal Service. Today I'm going to be chatting to you about access to justice and letting you know where you can get legal advice, some information on police powers, sexting and revenge porn, and tenancy issues. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you and acknowledge Legal Aid Queensland for their assistance. In keeping with the spirit of reconciliation, I would also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where we are gathered, and I wish to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Also, being a lawyer, here's a disclaimer for you to read too before we begin. So let's begin our chat. Okay, first up, let's talk about access to justice and what this may mean to you. So, what do you think justice is? Is it about making sure all people are treated fairly? Or is it about making sure that people who do the wrong thing are punished? Maybe you think it's about making sure that people who are victims receive some sort of compensation like money. Could it be about making sure that people in power don't abuse that power? Or is it all of these things? Well, yes, it is. So one thing that may stop young people having access to justice is not being able to get legal advice. This could be for many reasons, including lack of money or access to transport. It could be that you don't even know who to ask, or even that you're able to ask. Well, we want you to know where you can get legal advice if you need it. There's us, the Pine Ridge Community Legal Service. We're based at Strathpine, right across from the Bray Park train station. We can speak to you about almost any legal matter. You can give us a call on 3881 3500 or just come see us. There's also Legal Aid Queensland. Legal Aid have a dedicated youth justice line. That number is 1800 527 527. They also have an office right here at Caboolture on King Street. There are also other free community legal services like us. Some you might be able to use are as follows. There's the Moreton Bay Community Legal Service, based at the Neighbourhood Centre, 9 George Street, Caboolture. There's the Youth Advocacy Centre, or YAC, based at Petrie Terrace. Their number is 3356 1002. There's YFS, based at Slacks Creek. Their number is 3826 1500. There's the LGBTI Legal Service. They're based in the Valley and their number is 3124 7160. There's also the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Legal Service. The closest offices for them are located at Strathpine and Maroochydore, and the main number to call is 1800 012 255. If you need these numbers, just let Youth Justice know or give us a call and we can give them to you. Otherwise they can be found on the internet by googling Free Legal Services Queensland. These services are here to help you, so if you need them, give them a call. Next up, I'm talking about police powers and you. I thought we could start with a game of myth or fact. See how many you get correct. First question. You can be charged if you do not tell the police your name and address. I'll give you some time after each question to think about it. Yes, that's a fact. If you refuse to give your name and address when police have a right to ask for it, and you have no reasonable excuse for refusing, you'll be committing an offence and could be charged. Okay, second question. You can be charged if you fail to give a roadside breath test or a saliva test. Yes, that's a fact. If you refuse or fail to provide a breath or saliva sample when requested, You may be charged for failing to provide a sample. What about this one? You are not allowed to ask the police their name, rank or station, or why they are stopping, questioning or searching you. Well, that's a myth. You are allowed to ask the police these questions. Is this a myth or a fact? You have to answer all the questions police ask you. That's a myth. Police can stop you and ask you any questions at any time. However, you don't necessarily have to answer all of their questions. Remember your right to silence and remember to get some legal advice. Okay, one last question. If you're under 18, you are not allowed to have someone with you during police questioning. That's right, it's a myth. You can have someone with you. This can be a parent or a guardian, a lawyer, or a person who is helping you, like from Youth Justice. You can tell the police who you would like. The police should also give you the opportunity to talk to this person in private, where they cannot hear you. Okay, now we've gone over some myths and facts. Let's recap and also look at some do's and don'ts when dealing with the police. So let's start with the do's. Do be polite and respectful. Do comply with police directions. Do remember your right to silence. If asked, do give your name and address. Do remember you can ask their details and their reasons for speaking with you. And do remember you can have a support person. Here are some don'ts. Don't forget the police are people just like you. Don't be aggressive. Don't escalate the situation. Importantly, don't forget your rights and don't forget to get legal advice. Well, that's the end of part 1. Coming up is part 2, which is about sexting, revenge porn and tenancy. Remember, if you need any legal advice, you can call us on 3881 3500.